Hi everyone, welcome to STEAM Fridays. I'm Olivia from the Strathmore Library, and today we're going to be doing some fun experiments with magnets. So what you'll need today is, you'll need the bag that I put together for you, but you'll also need a few things from your house. You will need some water, you'll need a pie plate or a bowl, you'll need a pencil, and I forgot to put this on the list, but you will also need scissors and glue from home. And you'll need, I have 3 things that we'll be testing in addition to what's in the bag. So you'll need a spoon or a fork, a coin of some kind, and a key. If you don't have all of those items, that's okay. You can just watch what I do instead. So we'll start by, you can pause the video now and go grab that stuff if you need to. So STEAM means science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Mostly we'll be doing science today with the magnets, but we'll also do a little bit of art at the end. I have a book to read to you today. It's called Invent a Pet by Vicky Fang, illustrated by Tito Juan Taipinaron. And it's not necessarily about magnets, but it is about STEAM because the girl, the main character, uses the scientific method to figure out what's going on with this mysterious machine that appears in her living room. So let's give that one a read. Invent a Pet by Vicky Fang, illustrated by Tito Juan Taipinaron. Katie was an ordinary girl who longed for an extraordinary pet. How about a nice goldfish? Her mom asked. Katie refused. A goldfish? Too common. I need a pet that's spectacular, unique. One day she came home to find a strange and magnificent machine in her living room. Dear Katie, I hope this helps in your quest to find an extraordinary pet. Love, Mom. An extraordinary pet? Katie couldn't wait, but where to start? Input. So in she put a soccer ball, a blade of grass, a carrot. Whomp. Unbelievable. I know just the pet to make. Rainbow colored, with wings and fire breathing. Ka-pop. Oh, that's not right at all. Flying, sparkly, and beautiful. Zing! Definitely not. By the end of the afternoon, peculiar animals puttered, slithered, hopped, and flew about the house. None of them were right. How does this thing even work? Katie came up with a plan. I will figure out what each input does and find the formula for my perfect pet. She started with a new set of inputs: a cushion, a sock, and a banana. A rainbow-spotted monkey? Now, what if I just changed the first item? Katie replaced the cushion with an armchair, but kept the sock and the banana. Aha! The first item changes its size. Now, how about the second? Katie went back to the original items, but replaced the rainbow-spotted sock with a purple pom-pom. It was a rainbow spotted before, but now it's purple. Of course. The second item is for color, and the third... Katie kept the first 2 original items, but replaced the banana with a ball of yarn. Womp. Whoa, the third item changes the animal? But how did I get a kitten? So Katie tried different third items. From shiny, so the apple made a horse. Tall, the bamboo made a panda. To gross, the mud made a pig. But the animals were never what she expected. I just don't understand. These animals aren't at all like the items I picked. She glared at her notes, and then she saw the pattern. Wait. Horses love apples. Pandas love bamboo. Pigs love mud. The third item is something the animal loves. That's it. I know how the formula works. Before Katie had a chance to create her perfect pet, there was a great crash. Oh no. What a mess. Luckily, Katie wasn't out of ideas. She set up an adoption center in the driveway. The neighbors were thrilled to take home her unusual creatures. In no time, the town was covered with her extraordinary pets. After everyone had gone, Katie rushed to her machine. It was finally time to create her perfect pet. But then she stopped. There was one final problem. Rainbows are everywhere. Wings seem so common. What is the perfect, unique pet for me now? Suddenly she knew. An apricot, a tangerine peel, a glass of water. Shloop! There it was, her beautiful little tangerine-colored goldfish. Perfectly extraordinary. So now we'll open up the bag and start working with magnets. Now remember, I wrote it on here, but there are some sharp sewing needles in here. So the younger kids might need a little bit of help from the grown-up to make sure you don't hurt yourselves. So you can just dump out your whole bag. Just try to make sure nothing gets lost. So first we're going to be doing a little bit of predictions. So when you're doing scientific experiments, you have to, before you even start, you predict what you think might happen. So for this one, you will need this worksheet that I have. You'll need the paper clip from your bag. You will need, I wrote nail on here, but I actually bought screws. So you can grab the screw. You'll need the pipe cleaner. And then you'll need your spoon, coin, and key from home. If you don't have those ones, it's okay. So first we'll go through, before you even get out the magnets, we'll go through each one on the list and see what you think before we get started. So all you have to do is go down each list. This one's actually the screw. And decide, do you think the paper clip will be magnetic? Yes or no? For each one, the screw, do you think it's going to be magnetic? Yes or no? Pipe cleaner, the spoon, the coin, and the key. And if you have anything else at home that you want to test, you can just write it down below and do it the same thing. So in the kit, I gave you 3 magnets. 2 of them have stickies on the back. Those are for a craft we'll do later. One of them doesn't have a sticker on the back. So this one's a bit of a stronger magnet. So that's what we're going to use for the first 2 things we're doing. So let's just start by the first thing that is on our list is a paper clip. Did you think that the paper clip would stick to the magnet? So metal things usually do stick to the magnet, but not all types of metal do. So we'll see. Oh, yep, the paper clip does. So were you right or were you wrong? What made you think that the paper clip would or would not be attracted to the magnet? Let's try the screw next. Yep, the screw is magnetic. And we'll try the pipe cleaner. Now this one's a little bit tricky. Did you think that the pipe cleaner would be attracted to the magnet or not? Because it is pretty fluffy. It's not necessarily, doesn't look like it's made out of metal, but let's see. Oh, yep, the pipe cleaner does stick to the magnet. That's because there is a wire in the middle the wire is what allows you to bend it and make it into shapes. The wire is made out of a type of metal that is magnetic. Next, we'll do the spoon, like the spoon or the fork. It is definitely made out of metal, but Do you think that the spoon will be attracted to the magnet? Let's see. Yep, that one's pretty strong. The magnet went right to it. Now we will do so far everything that we've done, the paper clip, the screw, the pipe cleaner, and the spoon have been magnetic. Next we'll do the coin. I have a quarter, but you can use whatever type of coin you want. Let's see, the coin is definitely made out of metal. And yes, the quarter is magnetic. I'm not sure if all coins will be magnetic, so you'll have to let me know if you have a different coin and if it's magnetic or not. The last thing we have on the list is the key. Do you think the key is going to be magnetic? Let's see. Oh. Nope, this key is not magnetic at all. Even though it's made out of metal, it's not a type of metal that is attracted to the magnet. So if I put the magnet on it, the key, it just falls right off. So how did you do on your answers? Did you get most of them right, or were you surprised? And you can let me know if you do anything else around your house and if it is magnetic or not. So all magnets have a north pole and a south pole. You might notice when you play with magnets on your fridge that sometimes the magnets are attracted to each other and sometimes they push away from each other or are repelled. So opposite poles will be attracted to each other. So if each magnet has a north and a south pole. A north pole from one magnet will be attracted to the south pole from another magnet. They will stick together. But if you put two north poles together, they will push and you can't put them together no matter how hard you try. Now when I say north pole and south pole, does that remind you of anything? It kind of reminds me of our Earth, because our Earth has a north pole at the top of the Earth and a south pole at the bottom of the Earth. And it's kind of interesting because the Earth is like a really big, weak magnet. And that's why compasses will always point north. Other magnets, the reason compasses always point north is because other magnets are attracted to the North Pole. So they will point in the north direction. So we can use a magnet or another magnetized object to find which way is north from anywhere on Earth. And it's actually, this has been a way that people have used to find directions for almost 1,000 years. So it's not a new technology. Today, our experiment will be to make our own basic compass. So for this experiment, you will need a bowl or a pie plate. I have a pie plate. You'll need water. You will need, in the little bag, be careful, the sewing needles are in this bag, so you don't want to poke yourself. You'll need the little foam sticker that I included. You will need the strong magnet with no sticker. And the 2 sewing pins that are in here. Now, I really don't want anyone poking themselves, so be careful. So first, this is something I learned while I was doing research for this experiment. But did you know that you can transfer magnetism from a magnet to a different magnetic object? So these pins are not magnetic, but I can make them magnetic, and this is what I'll use for my compass. So what you have to do is take this strong magnet, and you have to hold the pin carefully on the not pokey side. I don't want anyone getting hurt. Take your magnet and figure out which side of the magnet it's attracted to. And then you will have to rub the magnet along the pin, going only one direction, like this. Don't go back and forth, that won't work. You have to go one direction. And you have to do this 30 times. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So now we will test it on the other pin. So this pin in my hand is the one that I magnetized, and this pin on the table is not magnetized. It's just a regular pin. So let's see if it worked. Oh, it worked. So I made my pin into a magnet. Okay, so first, to make our compass, we will have to pour some water into the pie plate, enough so that the foam sticker can float. So once you have enough water in the pie plate, that the sticker will float, and that will help the needle point in the direction it wants to go. So you just float the sticker on the top of the water and take the needle that you magnetized. If you want to re-magnetize it again, you can. I'll do that quick. It's already pretty still magnetized, but just to make sure. So then you can place the needle on top of the foam sticker, and you might see it start to spin, slowly spinning to get into the direction it wants to go. There it goes. So we just made a compass. Now our needle spun almost all the way around, and now it's pointing north. So, but the thing is, it points along the north and the south. So one end will be north and one end will be south. But unless you know which direction you're facing, you might not know which one is which. So if you want to make sure that your homemade compass is accurate, you can go outside at noon on a sunny day. And because in Alberta, we are north of the equator, so your shadow will point north. So after you're done this, you can go outside, and if it's sunny, go outside and see which direction your shadow points. If your shadow points in the same direction as the needle, either end of the needle, we're not quite sure, right? Then you know that your compass is accurate. Make sure that you take your 2 sewing needles and throw them away in the garbage when you're done, because you don't want to leave them around and someone get hurt. So lastly, we're going to be doing a little magnetic craft. What you will need for this is this printout that I printed out for everyone. You'll need the paper plate. You will need the 2 magnets with sticky backs. You'll need the popsicle stick. And you'll need your glue or tape from home and your scissors from home. So we are going to do a maze that you can guide your character through using just magnets. So younger kids, you can cut out this maze and glue it onto the paper plate. Older kids, you can do that as well, or you might want to design your own maze and see if you can make something a little trickier or a little bit more interesting. The way I'm going to do it is I will just use this maze because I don't have a ton of time, but I would be very interested to see if anyone can come up with some creative mazes. So you can just cut your maze out. And use glue to glue it to the paper plate. You can glue it to either side of the paper plate. It doesn't really matter if it's the front or the back. So I'm gonna put my maze right in the center here. And now you'll see at the bottom of the page that I printed out, I have 4 objects. I have a squirrel, an acorn, a snowman, and a hat. This is just to kind of add a little bit of interest into the project. You can pick if you want to do either the squirrel and the acorn, or the snowman and the hat, or you could make your own character. Well, I'm going to do the squirrel, so you can color these too, so they're pretty cute. I'm going to cut out the squirrel. And I'm going to cut out the acorn because I'm feeling like fall instead of winter. And then I'm going to take the acorn or the hat, if you choose to do the snowman, or the small one of whatever object you do yourself, and glue it right to the very center of the maze. So that is going to be what your character, the squirrel, wants to get. He wants to find his nut for winter. Then you'll have to take one of the magnets with the sticky backs, peel off the sticky back, and stick the squirrel to it. There we go. And then you'll take the other one, other magnets, take the sticker off, and stick it to the popsicle stick to the very end. So this will be the stick that you use to guide your squirrel through the maze. So I'm sure your maze and squirrel or creature will look a lot nicer than mine because you'll have yours all nicely decorated and colored. But I'll just show you basically what you have to do. You can put the squirrel or whoever you have at the beginning of the maze here. Then you will take the magnet on the stick, go underneath, and then you can guide your squirrel through the maze. Oops, come over here, squirrel. You can guide your squirrel through the maze to get to the center. So if you make your own, you can make it as tricky or as easy as you want. You could give the maze to family members and see if you can time them to see how long it takes to get to the center. And when you're done, you can always make another maze on a piece of paper and then glue it on top of this one, so you can do it again and again.